The most miserable time to be alive in human history.
You open your eyes, and you're in the Middle Ages. And no, don't get excited. You're not a noble. Do you really think you would be royalty if we teleported you back in time? Of course you're...
It's not about hoes, boys. It's about being a peasant in the Middle Ages. I've always been intrigued with the Middle Ages and don't know necessarily why, but something about it's very intriguing. So that's kind of why I wanted to get into this video, because I wanted to figure out what life would actually be like if I was stuck back then. I know it would be goddamn horrible, but that's besides the point.
A peasant. Your house is just one single room. That's it. One. And that one room has to be a bedroom, kitchen, living room, storage, an emergency farm, because the animals sleep inside with you to keep warm. Chickens, goats, maybe a pig. The floor is...
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I would probably be a peasant, but absolutely not, dude. There is not going to be farm animals living in my house. This ain't Tijuana, okay? And we're not going down that road, because that's not me.
Dirt. Literally dirt. Every time someone walks, dust floats in the air. You breathe it all day. There's no glass in the windows, just uneven wooden shutters that kind of close if you kick them hard enough. So the light comes in, the cold comes in, and the flies come in too. By night, the same gap...
Scared the hell out of me, yo, son. What up? What's going on, brother? Jeez, that scared the fuck out of me. I was not expecting to hear that. Hey, Retro. He's from 5M. It didn't even pop up and showed me that he was even in here, which is strange. I see over there on Twitch, I see Eskimo said, what up? Catfish Calhoun said, you know you'd be cuddled up to a big old pig. Hell no, I would not neither. I do not like multi. I know, brother, but it's hard. 'Cause we ain't it gives me the ick. We ain't to that point yet where we can, like, pull people completely over to kick. They ain't hanging out with us over here on kick like that, oh, son.
Let out the heat you spent all day trying to trap. You don't sleep on a mattress. You sleep on straw stuffed into a cloth bag. Lice live in it. Fleas live in it. And at this point, you've simply accepted them as roommates who don't pay rent. Every morning when you stand...
I've already decided that I'm no longer obsessed with the Middle Ages. As soon as he said lice and fleas and I've accepted them as roommates, I'm not obsessed with it anymore. I don't think I could live there and actually live without deleting myself at some point.
And up, your back feels like you fell asleep on a pile of gardening tools. You hear movement around you because, yes, you're not alone here. Your whole family sleeps in this one room. Everyone. Parents, siblings, children. And even that one uncle who showed up 2 years ago just for a few days and somehow never left. Privacy is not a concept. The moment you're awake, you hear coughing. People here cough more than they breathe. You see, most peasant houses had an open fire burning inside the same room people slept in. There was often no chimney, or a very poor one, so the smoke didn't leave. Day after day, year after year, people breathed it in from childhood. Everyone smells terrible. Imagine a mixture of wet dog, sweaty armpit, rotten milk, and burned wood. And this is before anyone starts work.
Absolutely not. That sounds absolutely fucking awful, dude. There's no way at all. Sounds inviting. It sounds horrible is what it sounds like. And no, I would not be cuddled up to a big old pig, and I would damn sure wouldn't be cuddled up to no rooster either. I ain't cuddling up to no kind of farm animals and don't want them in my house at all. Hell no.
Burned wood. And this is before anyone starts working. And before you even stand up fully, your stomach already complains. You're hungry. Good news, breakfast exists. Bad news, breakfast exists. You stumble to the kitchen, which is just the same room, and breakfast is waiting for you. It's a wooden bowl full of pottage. What is pottage? Imagine a stew that has been boiling since your great-great-grandfather was alive. Every day, they don't make a new stew. They just add more stuff into the old stew. Grains, roots, random vegetables, maybe a bean, maybe a pebble. Whatever fell in the pot. The stew is older than most people in the room. Pottage was the main food for most peasants in medieval Europe. People ate some version of it almost every day. Your spoon is a stick that someone carved with a knife they also used yesterday to castrate a goat. Hygiene was not invented yet. Next to the bowl, you get a piece of bread. Not soft bread, no. This bread is a medieval weapon.
I done deleted myself. You done lost your mind, dude, if you think that I'm going to stay here in this terrible, terrible area and act like everything's all right. That's very concerning, okay? There's no types of, like, hygienes. I'm eating 200-year-old soup. We're not doing that, dude. We're not going to live that life. Fuck that.
You could literally crack someone's skull with it. This bread is harder than your will to live. It's made of cheap flour mixed with random filler like sawdust, bark, or powdered grass. You soak it in the stew until it softens enough that your teeth stand a chance, and sometimes the flour itself was dangerous. Medieval rye could be infected with a fungus called ergot. People who ate it sometimes experienced hallucinations, gangrene, and in extreme cases, death. And for drinks? Beer. Yes, first thing in the morning, everyone drinks it, even the kids, because water could easily kill you faster than a sword. Rivers and wells were full of parasites, animal waste, diarrhea, and whatever the town dumped upstream. Beer was safer because the brewing process involved boiling the liquid and fermenting it, which killed most of the dangerous bacteria. And it wasn't strong beer like today. Most people drank small beer, a very weak version with very low alcohol that you could drink all day without getting drunk. About 20 minutes after breakfast, your stomach suddenly decides to start a revolution. Not a cute stomach ache. Not, oof, I feel a bit bloated. A deep, twisting pain hits you like a spear from the inside, and you instantly know something in that stew was not meant for human consumption. And just like that, you need to go. Now. But here's the problem. There is no bathroom. There is no toilet. You have two options. Option 1, squat over a bucket inside the house and hope nobody is watching. Spoiler alert, everyone is watching. It's the same bucket everyone in your family uses, maybe even the family goat once or twice. Option 2, go outside and dump everything straight onto the street, where every other person in town has done the exact same thing. The air hits you like a wall, heavy, wet, and smelling like something.
This is just fucking awful. I mean, my God, dude. How did the human race survive this? Because this is just, oh, dude, you had to be a rough motherfucker to be like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm feeling this. Fuck that, dude.
Between a swamp and death itself. People open their windows and pour their waste straight into the street. If they were feeling polite, they'd shout, "Gardez-vous!" from the French for watch out for the water. Except it wasn't water. The result is a brown, bubbling river of everything a human body can produce. It mixes with animal dung, rotting food, dead rats, and rainwater, until everything turns into sludge. When it rains, it floods. When it's hot, it steams. Children play next to it, dogs eat from it, and it all flows downhill, right into the same river people drink from. It's why medieval cities were death traps. Contaminated water spread dysentery, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases constantly. People were sick so often they thought it was just normal. Some historians estimate that in crowded medieval towns, the average person...
Yeah, but was it required? Like, did you have to live in the medieval towns back then, or could you just be one of those guys that just left, went up to the mountains, and just lived there? Because if that's the thing, if you could just leave, go up to the mountains somewhere and just live there, I would 100% get the hell out of there, go up to the mountains, and just stay there. Unless, like, the king was just kind of forcing everybody in, like, a certain amount of radius to stay within the town. Probably didn't have much of an option. Shit, dude. I'd rather live out there on my own and figure it out than fucking be stuck inside of a town where the streets are sludgy with shit, steaming in the hot summer. All you can smell is diarrhea and death. Fucking rats everywhere, fleas, ticks. Like, if I'm gonna experience that shit, at least I'm gonna experience it off somewhere by myself without any kind of human contact. I would be the type of person that they would talk about being like a warlock or a hermit or, you know, some kind of horrifying creature that lives up in the mountains somewheres in a cave. They'd be calling me like a troll or some shit, dude. That's all they would think of me when they thought of me, because I would never interact with human beings.
Had intestinal parasites their entire life and never knew it. It was a system so efficient at spreading disease that it killed tens of millions of people across Europe, and nobody connected the water to the deaths for another 500 years. After you finish your heroic trip to the bucket, your stomach still hurts. It doesn't stop. It growls. It burns. It feels like something inside you is trying to tear its way out. So naturally, it's time to visit your local doctor. Except, there are no doctors. Not for you. Real doctors work for kings and bishops. You get the village multitasker. The same guy who cuts hair, sharpens knives, pulls teeth, drains...
Mike, you sound different. Are you okay? What do you mean? Does my nose sound stuffy? Yeah, it's probably where I mowed the yard. I get allergies, like, real easy from shit like that. There it is, first time chatter. What up, oh son? What's going on, oh son? How you doing, man? But yeah, it was probably, it was definitely probably a, probably my allergies, to where, like, I was having to deal with like the tall grass and the dandelions and all that shit out there, man. And my sinuses do not do well with pollens. What up, oh son? Pretty good. How about you? Had to wait the 10 minutes, lol. I'm doing good, man. I went out and mowed and stuff today, so I got kind of like a stopped up nose, but I went to the doctor the other day anyways and told them that my nose was starting to kind of feel stoppy, so they gave me some amoxicillin, so within like a day or two, I'll probably be fine. I just got bad allergies. Oh, stuffy. Yes, sir. I hate that for you that you had to wait the 10 minutes, man. If you ever get into Kick, just know that, like, you know, that won't happen to you and you won't have any ads over here if you ever did decide to come over here and follow me instead. I try to encourage that for the people that don't want to wait through ads. You know what I mean? But also don't feel like paying to get rid of them at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you coming through here, man, and hanging out with us. That's cool, dude. I done that because of the Terminators. Yeah, well, you get bots that run through the chats and stuff, man. They got to go, oh, son. You can't have them hanging out.
Blood and probably brews his own beer in the same bucket he uses for amputations. He doesn't wear gloves. He doesn't wash his hands. Soap exists, technically, but it's expensive, and he's saving it for special occasions, like never. You walk in, clutching your stomach, and before you can even say what's wrong, he already knows the diagnosis. Your humors are unbalanced. That was medieval science. They believed your body was filled with 4 magical fluids: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. And when one of them got out of balance, you got sick. Simple solution: drain you like a water barrel. He ties a rag around your arm, grabs a rusty blade that looks suspiciously like a butter knife, and opens a vein to let the bad blood out.
Encourage all of them over there, Alan. Anyway, I don't know if y'all have ever looked into like medieval like doctrine and whatnot and actually like watched what they do or what they did and like read about it, but the shit's horrifying. Yeah, bloodletting and stuff. Yeah, dude, the shit's horrifying. They thought that like if you had like a headache and it was like bad enough, it's because you had evil spirits in your skull and you needed a hole in it. Fuck. Oh my God.
You came in dehydrated, and now you're leaving with half your blood volume gone and a 50% chance of passing out in the mud outside. He might even ask for a sample of your urine, a common method back then. Not to test it, just to stare at it and guess what's wrong by the color or the smell. If bloodletting doesn't work, and it never does, there's always leeches. He keeps a jar of them, squirming in what used to be.
Let me say that was probably the only thing that was kind of accurate is the urine thing. Like, I mean, you can tell quite a bit by urine. Like, if it's real dark, you could be like, okay, well, you know, you're super dehydrated. Or if someone's talking about like, you know, it hurts or whatever whenever they urinate, that's because you got like some kind of like kidney infection or like a bladder infection or something. So I mean, like looking at it, it's really not too out there. Now, whenever he started doing the whole like tasting thing, that's pretty out there. But like the looking at it stuff's not like too out there, you know. It's probably something they started catching on to later on into the future. But as far as the whole bloodletting thing goes and the leeches and shit, somebody done lost their damn minds, dude. Said, nah. He's a doctor. Let him work. Thanks. Retro came over to the dark side. Wah! That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, dude. Now, Catfish Calhoun needs to do the same shit.
Is someone's bathwater. He slaps a few on your skin and waits for them to suck until they fall off. Still not cured? Don't worry, there's one more treatment. Prayer. Because if cutting, bleeding, and leeches don't work, clearly you've just angered God. And if you don't start feeling better soon, someone
had to support the man, the myth, the legend. Shit, I wish I was a myth and a legend. I ain't made it there yet. But I mean, surely to God, dude, like not too much longer into doing all this stuff, I'll start becoming a legend and then abruptly croak and then become a myth.
Someone's going to start whispering that maybe, just maybe, you've been cursed by a witch.
Did someone just say witch? Ah!
Yeah, careful with that word, because in the Middle Ages, that's not a joke. That's a death sentence. Most accused were women, but men weren't safe either. If people think you know too much about herbs, or
oh shit, he did it! One more! That's all we need, dude. We get that one more, and we'll hit a Hyundai. That's what I'm talking about. W Retro and Catfish Calhoun.
You just look a little too confident while boiling soup, that's enough. One bad harvest, one dead cow, or one neighbor who hates you. And suddenly, you're the village witch. And once the rumor starts, you're in trouble. No one is looking for evidence. They're looking for someone to blame. They'll drag you to the town square, ask, "Are you a witch?" And no matter what you answer, it's the wrong answer. Say no, and they'll say, "That's exactly what a witch would say." Say yes, and you've just scheduled your own execution.
Damn, that feels like I'm talking to Winners on RP. He's like, "Did you do it?" No. Well, that's exactly what you would say because you lie to us all the time. But if I tell him I did do it, then I get arrested anyway. So I really don't know what to do in them situations. I love winters, but goddamn.
Tests are even worse. One method, they tie you up and throw you into a river. If you sink, you're innocent, but you drown. If you float, you're guilty, and they kill you anyway. This was called a trial by ordeal. The idea was that God would decide if you were guilty. Logic wasn't really humanity's strong point back then. 24 hours haven't even passed.
Dude, if they was like, look, we're going to tie your arms and legs up, and we're going to throw you in this water, okay? And God's going to determine as to whether or not you're guilty. And I'm like, okay, how does he do that? And they're like, well, when you fall in the water, if you sink to the bottom and drowned, you was innocent. But if you float, you're guilty, and we're going to pull you out, and we're going to kill you. I'd be like, what in the goddamn hell kind of sense does that make, you sick bastards? There's a thing here called common sense. I mean, oh my goodness. Let's get this shit together. Figure it out.
And everything is already falling apart. And this wasn't rare. This was normal. Your ancestors lived like this for years, decades, and somehow they survived long enough for you to be here. So yeah, say thank you, medieval grandpa. Every comfort you have is built on a life he had to endure.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Think about common sense. Ah, a witch! Just throw you into the water. Fuck that, dude. W barely evolved. That video was hard. Hell yeah. I'm gonna move on to the next one.